Cary Grant was one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, with a career spanning over 3 decades. Grant was married 5 times, but his only child was Jennifer Grant, born in 1966 to his 4th wife, Dyan Cannon. Grant passed away in 1986 at age 82, leaving behind an estate worth an estimated $60 million. Join Facts First as we present She's Cary Grant's Daughter, Now She Has Millions. Cary Grant, one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, passed away November 29, 1986. He was born Archibald Alexander Leach on January 18, 1904 in Bristol, England. Grant's childhood was far from glamorous. His mother was sent to a mental institution when he was 9, and his father was an alcoholic who abandoned him. Grant found solace in the theater and began performing in vaudeville shows at age 14. In 1920, he moved to the U.S. and began his acting career on Broadway. He made his film debut in 1932 in This Is the Night. It wasn't until the 30s that Grant became a household name, starring in films like Topper and The Awful Truth. His career spanned over 30 years, and he appeared in over 70 films. He was known for his suave demeanor, impeccable style, and his ability to play both comedic and dramatic roles. Some of his most famous films include North by Northwest, Bringing Up Baby, and To Catch a Thief. He passed away at 82 from a stroke in 1986. At the time, he was living in Davenport, Iowa. He had been rehearsing for a one-man show. He had a special connection to Iowa as his 3rd wife, Betsy Drake, was from there. In the years since his death, Grant's legacy continues to live on. He's remembered as one of the greats and an icon of Hollywood's golden age. In 1999, the American Film Institute named him the 2nd greatest male star of classic Hollywood cinema.
This video is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. After an accident or an injury, you might feel like you're stranded on an uncharted desert isle. Luckily, Morgan & Morgan is prepared to be your legal Gilligan, guiding you through the rough seas of personal injury law. They'll fight harder to make you whole than Rocky fights in the ring. And with Morgan & Morgan in your corner, there's no need for countless visits to law offices or lengthy consultations. You can do everything right from your phone like you're George Jetson. In case of a car accident, your first recourse should be hiring an attorney. But you don't want to hire the Brady Bunch. You want a Perry Mason fighting for your rights. So if you're ever injured in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without having to leave your couch. For more information, go to forthepeople.com or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone.
On December 3, 1986, a day before what would have been his 83rd birthday, Grant's will was filed at the Santa Monica Probate Court. The will named his 5th wife, Barbara Harris, as executor and sole beneficiary of his estate, which was estimated to be worth $60 million. Under the terms of the will, Grant's daughter, Jennifer Grant, from his 4th marriage to actress Dyan Cannon, was left out of his estate. The decision was reportedly based on a strained relationship between Grant and Jennifer, who was just 20 years old at the time of his death. Reports also indicated Grant had made provisions for his other daughter, Jennifer's half-sister, to receive a monthly allowance of $2,000 for the rest of her life. Additionally, Grant's longtime companion and secretary, Maureen Donaldson, was left $10,000 in his will. The will also included instructions for the disposal of his remains. He requested his body be cremated and the ashes scattered in the Pacific. Grant's wishes were carried out in a private ceremony. While the contents of his will might come as a surprise, it was reported he'd been very clear about his wishes, and he had consulted with his attorneys and financial advisors extensively. It was noted Grant had a history of being very private about his personal life and affairs. In the years since his death, Grant's estate has continued to generate income through licensing deals and merchandise sales. His image and likeness have been used in advertisements from everything from watches to coffee, and his films are still popular among audiences of all ages. At the end of the day, Jennifer Grant ended up inheriting a good deal of her father's fortune, though the specific amount hasn't been released. Grant's personal life was marked by a series of marriages and relationships. He was married 5 times and had several high-profile romances throughout his career. But it was his 5th marriage that brought him the most happiness. He married Barbara Harris in 1981, and they remained together until his death in 86. He finally had found true love and happiness, and it was due in large part to his role as a father. As mentioned, Grant had his daughter with his second wife. He was a devoted father to Jennifer and played an active role in her life. Grant was known for dashing good looks and effortless charm, but he was also a deeply caring and nurturing parent. He saw fatherhood as one of the most important roles of his life. He was involved in every aspect of Jennifer's life and committed to being a positive influence for her. Grant's love for fatherhood was evident in everything he did. He was a devoted husband, father, and advocate for children's rights. He even founded the Cary Grant Foundation for Children's Charities, which supports a variety of organizations dedicated to helping children. In a 2011 interview with NPR, Jennifer Grant opened up about what it was like growing up as his daughter. She talked about the challenges as well as the fond memories she has. One of the biggest challenges was the constant attention and scrutiny that came from being Cary Grant's daughter. She recalled how people would often approach her father in public asking for autographs and photos, and this made her feel like an accessory to his fame. Despite this, Jennifer said her father was always protective of her and her siblings. He would shield them from paparazzi and try to keep their lives as normal as possible. For example, he would take them on camping trips and teach them how to fish, which Jennifer said were some of her fondest memories. She also said that when she was growing up, she didn't fully understand who he was or what he had accomplished. It wasn't until she saw him in some of his most classic movies that she realized how talented he was. Jennifer said her father was always humble and down to earth. He never talked about his fame or accomplishments and always put his family first. She said she's always tried to live up to the example that he set of kindness and integrity, and she's always been proud to be his daughter. Jennifer was born in 1966 and grew up in a privileged environment, attending private schools and being exposed to a Hollywood lifestyle. Despite this, she's led a relatively private life. In terms of her own career, she's acted in numerous TV shows, including Beverly Hills 90210, Friends, CSI Miami, and The Love Boat: The Next Wave. In addition to her acting career, she's also written a memoir titled Good Stuff, a reminiscence of my father, Cary Grant. The book provides readers with an intimate look into the personal life of one of Hollywood's most iconic actors. Fans and critics alike appreciated the personal insights into the life of one of Hollywood's most iconic stars. The book is structured as a series of vignettes, each one focusing on a specific memory or aspect of Cary's life. Through Jennifer's recollections, readers get a glimpse into the man behind the Hollywood legend. The book covers a wide range of topics, including Grant's relationships with his wives and children, his personal struggles, and his enduring legacy as a film star. Jennifer shares stories of her father's insecurities and vulnerabilities, as well as his lifelong struggle with the trauma of being abandoned by his mother as a child. Good Stuff, a reminiscence of my father, Cary Grant, is a touching tribute to one of Hollywood's greatest stars, written by someone who knew him best. Jennifer Grant is also actively involved in various charitable organizations, just like her father was during his own life. These include the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation and the International Medical Corps. Jennifer has had an interesting life, growing up in the shadow of her famous father and carving out her own career in the entertainment industry, while also giving back to society. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know Cary Grant only had one daughter and she was almost left out of his will? Let us know in the comments section below.